currently January 28th, 2026. This is currently my fourth live this evening. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I always have since day one. Regardless of trying to pray on my downfall, I would never stop choosing myself, regardless to what community, zip code, county, country, or zip code at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully. I would never stop choosing myself. And I say that respectfully. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. To the genuine ones with no malicious intentions, I truly appreciate your time and I say that respectfully. Never give up on yourself because someone did not love you, respect you, or protect you, or they didn't see your potential. You poured into the wrong cup, but you matter and you are worthy. Loving yourself is not a crime, and I say that respectfully. Now, ever trick, don't be always be yourself. Being authentic. Don't ever allow someone to dim your light. No ever trick, don't be show up and show out and be you and love you. Never get allow someone to dim your light when it comes to your reflection. Loving you. I'm Naya, Genio, love, respect. Entertainment purposes only. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. No ever trick of me, goddammit. You've been minding your business, your business, or whatever the case may be. And the doctor say, hey, come down to the office. I got something to talk to you about, or whatever the case may be. It may not be that serious. It may be serious, or whatever the case may be. But you understood direction, order at the end of the day in your life. Hit the trick on me, bitch. I wasn't trying to be shortchanging my mental health, you stupid son of a bitch. I said what I said. This fool gonna start to tell you about your body at the end of the day. Oh, how dare you ever trade off of me? You mean to tell me at the end of the day, someone is paying you, making you feel at the end of the day that your voice actually matters right now when God is telling me I still have a choice of a second opinion, third opinion, and let alone a fourth? If it trained off me, you got me fucked up. If it trained off me, you ever went to the doctor, but then going to the doctor and you just said to yourself is, nah, bitch, you ain't right. Nah. I don't know what you got going on or whatever the case may be. Who the fuck paying you today? But it ain't me. And the train off of me. Only for you to realize you went for your third motherfucking opinion then they when it come to your self-reflection because God was truly showing why God never moved the hands off that well. And the train off me. Hold on 1 second. Baby, you gonna be okay. No ever trade of me. It was no motherfucking in between the nothing today. A motherfucker would make you feel like you're not irrelevant when it comes to choosing yourself. Health is more so wealth. They would never understand your conscience when you actually motivate the end day to balance your pain. Understand the hold on 1 second, we wasn't the same. How you actually monitor your body to know hold on 1 second what's going on. Hold on 1 second. I know hold on 1 second what change feel like. Because I wasn't trying to lose myself today. My content is not for everyone. And that's okay. I would never stop choosing myself regardless of praying to my downfall. And I say that respectfully. Chicks and dudes will be bullies when it comes to your vocabulary. And as soon as you speak up for yourself, they quit to call you mentally unstable. Or because you believe that, hold on 1 second, your reflection is different. They don't want you to counter yourself when it comes to your reflection. But God was testing you every step of the way, not to be confused by the devil or the enemy. They would never understand that, hold on 1 second, I understood how to overcome mistakes. The energy is different when it comes to wounds they can relate to. That was confidence. How God allowed you to see hope, but then how God allowed you to see, regardless of praying to get downfall, continue to blossom, butterfly. I love you the same. No ever trade over me. Always be yourself. My content, everybody, and that's okay. Because I'm my biggest cheerleader, and I say that respectfully. Regardless who's praying on my downfall, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, I would never stop choosing myself. And I say that respectfully. This is what they said at your crash out, but I was far from that. No ever trade on me being authentic. Let's be classy over here now. That's the part where they start to disrespect you. They say that you ratchet, you too loud to end it, but you truly beautiful. They don't understand how handsome you actually are when folks are trying to dish you, disrespect you right to left, all because you understand maturity is different. When they laughed in your face when it came to pain, but God allowed you to see that lie detector is different when it comes to, hold on 1 second, growth is different when it comes to change. Because you understood regardless who's praying to get downfall, you're your biggest cheerleader regardless who was trying to make you small. Healing childhood trauma, still being patient with time and day. When it comes to a future, they can relate to that. Hold on 1 second, that confidence is different. How you still being patient with time and day when it comes to healing. Being authentic started within. You was far from a copycat at the end of the day. They would never understand how you truly elevate. Yeah, they send hexes right to left. They don't want you to communicate when it comes to your third eye. Actually, hold on 1 second, motivating. They praying on your downfall. They trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, and financially. No ever trade thought me. How they trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, call you crazy? Fuck you. It be the center thought for me because we live in a spiritual world. It's a lot of people that have been under spiritual attack since a child at the end of the day. They would never understand how you truly step in when you fall from hating. That childhood trauma went into your adulthood. They would never understand how you balance. Hold on one second, your reflection. You got chicks and dudes that don't want you to balance your whereabouts at the end of the day because they want you to have a mindset of hold on one second, having a conscience, not understanding your whereabouts because they praying on your downfall when you didn't have to pretend to be authentic. It's currently 10:31 p.m. and I'm far from a hate, and I say that respectfully. I love myself regardless of praying on my downfall, let alone gang stalking me. Always be yourself. You know, individuals who prey on your downfall and they will gang stalk you, hack your device, your IP addresses, monitor your mail, your packages, worry about what you going from point A to Z at the end of the day, and they don't understand that, hold on one second, I still choose me. I continue to cool my energy back. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You talking about you doing come to me spells, but God said go outside and get some air at the end of the day. Get in tune with the world at the end of the day. When it come to hold on one second, grounding, and I don't mean grounded, mentally unstable. That energy is different. How folks want you to be your own prisoner. They would never understand you was balancing your worth at the end of the day. You ain't have to shortchange yourself because they wanted to dish you, disrespect you. How folks don't see at the end of the day that, hold on one second, yeah, you was having a one-sided conversation that someone had an issue. They had an issue with me, you? Hold on one second. You mean to tell me that someone didn't want you to believe in your dreams because you want to choose you? How someone try to control your life at the end of the day to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, and then saying that you bugging out because you want to do is far from 7:30? They say ain't nobody going to hear you when they come to your reflection, but continue to call your energy back. They would never understand you was far from thirsty. You know, balance and peace at the end of the day, they would never understand how you truly stepping, fall from a hater, being authentic. Hold on one second. When you understand reflection. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. It's currently 10:32 p.m. My first live went up at 10:15. This is my fourth live this evening. I would never hurt myself regardless to who's praying on my downfall. And I say that respectfully. I'm Naya, genuine love respect. And this is peace and respect to neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. Stop the violence. Hi to the genuine ones. When no one listens to this, you're mad and you're worthy. You know, we go live every night at 10:15 p.m. We on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You know, we go live every night at 10:15 p.m. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Monday, self-love every day. Tuesday, self-control every day. Wednesday, motivation every day. Thursday, choose yourself when they trying to overlook you. Never get discouraged by a hater or the enemy. You know, hold on one second. Friday, you're mad and you're worthy. Even when the enemy try to test you or discourage you. Hold on one second. Here goes Saturday. Friday, hold on one second. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And just because moments we have to accountability for your actions, when you don't run from your past, they will never understand your conscience. You know, Saturday, fall from the hater neighbor, just stay in your lane. You got all this energy at the end of the day, but you forgot to pour into yourself. You try to discourage me because I believe the FAITH, hope within. I love myself to treat myself right when you try to kick me down and do me wrong. Hold on one second, here goes Sunday. Never give up on yourself. The blessing within you, they will never understand your reflection when it comes to the light within. Love yourself, though, dim your light. Yeah, you're mad and you're worthy. Always be yourself and no one listen to this. You know, jealousy and envy is really real. You know, domestic violence, hate crime, racism, discrimination, gang stalking. You know, you put a name to your book at the end of the day. It's really real. You know, when it comes to gang stalking, individuals will rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, send you the evil lie, try to send magic, send you hexes, all types of weird stuff, send you come TV spells, all types of stuff. But when you got God in your life, giving up was never part of the process. These fools will hack your devices, your IP address, reroute your mail, your packages. They even act like you received it when you didn't at the end of the day. You think you're talking to customer service in the whole entire time? You're talking to people that's gang stalking you because they're monitoring your every move from the time that you leave from your household, from the time that you go from point A to Z. It be a train of thought for me how this type of stuff actually happens. How they say they're going to ruin your life because you're willing to choose yourself. They say ain't nobody going to hear you or respect you ever. Because they trying to make you homeless, rob you mentally, spiritually, and financially. Never give up on yourself. No, for real. You know, they would send spell towards people that's trying to come towards you. They would try to hex your life, but hold on one second. They trying to dim you? Nah. We ain't having that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I continue to call my energy back. You know, I don't want no negative over here. I'm a truth teller, far from a hater. Neighbor. God got me. Love. It starts within, don't dim your light. When you fall from the hate, they would never understand that you fall from hate and infiltrate them. And when you know how to go within and take accountability for your actions, and you don't run from your past. Individuals would try to, paint you up to be the villain in their story, but they got their own skeletons in their own closet. But when you know how to take accountability for your actions, it was never for likes and views or cloud chasing or fame. God was never for likes and views or cloud chasing or fame. They would never understand how you elevate. You're mad and you're worthy. Never give up on yourself. Individuals try to take credit for God's work that God endured within you, but when God shows at the end of the day, never give up, regardless of what community, country, zip code, continent, whatever the case may be where you at. Never give up on yourself, because the right people see you, hear you, respect you, with no misintentions. People will try to pray on your downfall, but never give up on yourself when you're trying to balance your smile more. You're mad and you're worthy. Love yourself when you fall from a hater. Never give up to the genuine ones. We go live every night at 10:15 on YouTube. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Every night at 10:15 on YouTube. Love yourself. We work alone. Ain't no third party over here, even when it comes to people, hacking the devices and trying to paint us out to be somewhere we truly not today, or trying to do weird stuff in the background and trying to paint us out to be crazy. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. You're mad and you're worthy. Gotta go. Stop the violence. It's currently 10:37 p.m. I'm peace. I bring peace. Peace and respect. Say respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. Stop the violence. You're mad and you're worthy. When it comes to gang stalking, they will plot to bring a hate crime towards you, rob you mentally, spiritually, financially. Never get discouraged or make someone make you feel like you gotta live in fear. Even when someone said that your voice doesn't matter and they're gonna make people go against you, always speak up for yourself. Being the truth, tell them the day, the right people will see you, hear you, respect you with no misintentions. These fools try to put a hex on you. They stupid. Oh, sorry, Naya, but I'm saying, no, for real. Never give up on yourself. Gotta go. Stop the violence. I'm Naya, Genio Love Respect, and my content is not for everyone. It's currently 10:38 p.m. This is currently my 4th live this evening, and we 12 minutes into this video. I would never hurt myself regardless of praying to my downfall, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. God detected at the end of their growth. Hold on one second. When you fall from a hater, they would never understand. It was never for lack at the end of the day. Even when chicks and dudes is trying to disrespect you, they would never understand how you truly keeping it real when you understood their point of view. Hold on one second, having hope within. They try to discourage you with a hex at the end of the day. When it come to your vocabulary, you understood the balance. The hold on one second, we wasn't the same. When they was trying to project the insecurity, hate, and jealousy and envy at the end of the day, or because they didn't want you to become your best self vision of your reflection. How this type of stuff actually happens when folks don't even have to know you at the end of the day to pray on your downfall, but you was far from pretending when you actually knew how to pray to go within, and your heavenly mother, Father God, never remove their hands off of you. They would never understand. We didn't have to pray the same. Did I say that already? It'd be the train of thought for me. Regardless if you have a speech problem, a disability problem, or you're sick, never allow someone to make you feel like you have to shortchange your self-reflection. And I say that respectfully when it comes to your confidence. Because someone doesn't want you to prosper in life. Someone doesn't want you to maintain LOVE, the unconditional starter within. Even when they try to dim like the prayer on your downfall, you manage at the end of the day to show up. Hold on one second. Keep showing up for you. My content is not for everyone. And that's okay. Now, checked on the entertainment purposes only. No, for real. When it comes to my creativity or whatever the case may be, I work alone. I always have since day one. You've been minding your business with the mind of your business. You had that one guardian or family member, whatever the case may be, and you hear them say certain words, and you start to repeat those words too. Like, yeah, what happened? It's the trait on me, motherfucker. Without saying the curse words or whatever the case may be. So they calling you within calling you, whatever the case may be. And you like, yeah, what happened? What'd you say? Yes, ma'am. And Latrake, you realize you changed your whole attitude real fucking quick. Yeah, I'm glad you fixed that motherfucking attitude real fucking quick. Attitude? And Latrake on me. So you mean to tell me when you be talking to us, you be having an attitude? Fuck you. No, what Latrake told me. A motherfucker will pick and choose at the end of the day when they want to hurt you with their little motherfucking feelings. One-sided. And Latrake over me. That energy is different. A mother and father love actually is different. You know, a mother and father to actually balance the hold on one second, that unconditional love, that LOV, actually meeting you halfway, showing that you are worthy to overcome mistakes. They don't got to pray on your downfall because they actually see at the end of the day, they actually want you to smile world. Even when the world's against you, they would never understand how you step in the devil or the enemy because your moms and pops fall from at the end of the day, discouraging you. When it come to your reflection, a dream come true. You know, that LOV, who would have knew? A healthy foundation when it come to God's vision at the end of the day. Even when the household's broken, who would have knew? You know, because it's mothers and fathers that don't have to do it for likes and views or clout chasing or fame. You know, when the devil try to give them a number, hold on one second, we all ain't the same. Or let alone the enemy plotting on someone's downfall. You know, like that father that's trying to become his best self vision of himself, fall from trying to distress the end of the day. You know, that mother that's trying to balance her trauma and pain from a child point of view, going into her adulthood, hold on one second. They would never understand how she carry her own weight. And I don't mean narcotics. That energy is different when folks is trying to make her feel at the end of the day she was crazy, bugging, going within, because she actually knew how to respect her baby. Even days when she couldn't weather her own storm to go within. The energy is different. You know, because a mother and father, they have their moments. And they look at their reflection, only rest the hold on one second, that's my baby. I wouldn't want nobody to hurt them. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I know we live in the spiritual world, but baby, I got you today. Regardless to what we go through, trial and tribulation, at the end of the day, I ain't turning my back on you. Good day, bad day, misunderstanding day. You know that prayer war at the end of that father. Hold on one second, that didn't have to get physical. The one that actually shows you to hold on one second, be confident in your own skin. I didn't have that hold on one second when it came to my youth, but I allowed myself to feel that hold on one second, I wasn't trying to lose me when I had you. That energy is different. How father's actually stepping up to the plate at the end of the day, even when he didn't hear I love you. That energy is different. How a father or a mother, regardless they came from poverty or pain or not, the end of the day, how they weathered a storm that certain folks can relate to, that was confidence. You know, even days when they was broke, even days when they understand their own reflection and look in the mirror, how they could truly be woke. How they ain't know how to pray at the end, they but hold on one second, their vocabulary is different when it comes to their reflection today. How they actually feel that hold on one second, I'm worthy. I ain't trying to be my baby's friend, but I'm showing them at the end of the day, they got protection over here because I ain't trying to hurt them when they go within. You know, the energy is different. I would never hurt myself regardless praying to my downfall, and I say that respectfully. This is currently my 4th live. My first live was at 10:15 p.m. I go live every night at 10:15 on YouTube. It's currently my 4th live now. And it's 17 minutes into this video. And it's currently 10:43 p.m. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and my content is not for everyone. You know that mother and father that didn't have that guardian in their life that showed them I love you. But who would have knew a gift that truly a dream come true? They wasn't trying to mislead they baby. They was trying to become their best self vision of their reflection when it comes to hold on one second, you need me today. Good day, bad day, misunderstanding day, even when the world's trying to kick you down to make you feel to get discouraged when it comes to your dreams. But hold on one second, God should allow you to see why your world went around. You know that baby that you didn't almost go home with. That baby they said that wasn't going to make it. But that was your miracle, baby, your blessing. Hold on one second, everybody's vocabulary ain't the same, but still, that was your baby at the end of the day, even when the doctor was trying to point you in the wrong direction. It didn't matter what household you came from, but you made the best self vision of yourself because you your child's protector. Even days when they get on your nerve at the end of the day, but who would have knew allowed you to feel like, hold on one second, comfortable in your own skin because that's you, your reflection, and you just want them to become their best self vision of themselves. Even when folks try to dim them, like to discourage them. Not ever trade on me. Always be yourself with no misintentions, and I say that respectfully. It's not a crime to be authentic. And my content is not for everyone. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I always have since day one. I would never stop choosing myself regardless of praying to my downfall. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. We're 18 minutes into this video and it's currently 10:45 p.m. Likes and views. They would never understand you, your point of view. You know, they dissed you, called you out the end of the day. They was trying to hex you. They had that sin spell work in a toxic way, but they would never understand how God works when God was not trying to confuse you. You didn't have to stop praying. You understood to believe in yourself when they couldn't relate to your faith at the end of it. That was their confidence that they truly lacked. But hold on one second. We all don't pray to the same God. You know, God was allowing you to feel at the end of the day, not to overlook yourself. When it came to hold on one second, they rejection. They rejected themselves because they saw your potential. They had to diss you, disrespect you, all because you understood your reflection. Being authentic started within. You was far from a copycat, loving on a hater. You knew how to put respect on your neighbor, even when they couldn't relate to their own weather. You know, you had to heal certain childhood trauma going to your door. They would never understand your conscience is different. How chicks and dudes are sending hexes on you, talking about you're not gonna become your best self vision of yourself because they want to confuse you. But you continue to call your energy back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just because moments, all because hold on one second, God was to allow you to feel. They would never understand it was far from a challenge at the end of the day because being authentic started within. You know, my content is not for everyone, and that's okay. You know, I love to talk about love. No, Anthony, check on you. Always be yourself. Love is real, love is one of a kind. What the right one truly for you. You know, someone had a hand problem, but that wasn't part of your love language. You allowed yourself to say, "Dear God, send me the right person in my right direction." Only was the hold on one, so you had to work on you to understand your reflection is different today. Who would have knew? Whoever fumbled you, God allowed you to see why someone was protecting you. When it come to your heart, didn't have to get physical. You know, they wasn't trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially. They didn't have to do condom spells or spoken attacks to get your time in day. When it come to your vocabulary, you know, when folks wasn't rooting for you, when it come to being your biggest cheerleader, who would understand that? Hold on one second, you understood your reflection and how God was showing you better days ahead. When it come to your intuition, hold on one second, you are worthy. You know, you found you. Unconditional love allows you to choose you. You had chicks and dudes plotting on your downfall. You know, you've been dealing with spiritual warfare since a child. They would never understand how you allow yourself to be strong more. It went into your adulthood. You still got folks praying on your downfall. God opened certain doors and right to left. They would never understand having a rejection. Hold on one second. That was through your protection. They would never understand that maturing is different. Acting your body weight, not your shoes out. They would never understand how you truly stepping. You know, because when the right person walks into your life, they bring you balance. They ain't trying to hurt you. And I said that respectfully, far from pretending. It was never hold on one second for likes and views or clout chasing or fame. Hold on one second. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but someone truly wasn't looking the opposite way because they didn't have time for third-party conversations. Even when chicks and dudes are trying to disrespect you, make you feel like you wasn't worthy of your opportunity to LOVE. But who would have knew at the end they peace bought you? Hold on one second, a light within. Who would have known a future so real? Because someone's pouring into you not to make you mentally unstable. You know, someone brought peace into your life Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just because moments. That ain't just different. Wow, someone sees you, hears you, respects you, they praying for not against you. Who would have knew that action spoke louder than words when it came to LOVE? Even when chicks and dudes in different tags, but you don't even have to know, let alone you knew for years, the end of the day, they didn't want you to elevate, but who would have knew at the end of the day, God allowed you to prosper? They said God not real, but God allowed you to feel. They would never understand the hands of time. Hold on one second, your testimony is different when God allowed you to shine. The light within, because you was willing to choose you and the love of your life. Truly, hold on one second, was faithful to you. And y'all both brought balance into each other's world. Who would have knew that true love wasn't complicated because someone actually respected you? You know, it may not make sense to the average person. It's okay. We currently 22 minutes into this video and it's 10:49 p.m. I would never hurt myself regardless who's praying on my downfall, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I would never stop choosing myself regardless of what man, woman, child, couple, or elderly person is praying on my downfall, regardless of what community, zip code, county, zip code, or whatever case may be, or even country. I would never stop choosing myself. I'm far from a hater. Self-love. Self-love is different every single day. Love yourself, never dim your light, neighbor. Now ever change that when you fall from a hater. Being authentic is not a crime. When it comes to my creativity, I get it from my Heavenly Mother, my Heavenly Father, God, and I work alone. I always have since day one. I'm on YouTube, and I go on YouTube live every night at 10:15. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. This is currently my 4th video on YouTube this evening. I would never hurt myself regardless praying on my downfall. You know, smiling differently. They would never understand your reflection. A dream they can't relate to. That was true of your confidence. They would never understand they was praying on your downfall, but you understood elevation is different. You know, like loving yourself. Actually understand that footwork is different when they understand the hold on one second. They try to put a hex on your life, or because you understood that hold on one second. I understood what I've been through. I've been dealing with spiritual warfare since a child point of view. Going into my adulthood, they would never understand my conscience is different. Hold on one second. They try to pay me out to be a crasher, but I was far from pretending, being authentic, taking accountability for my actions when these fools got skeletons in their own closet, but they trying to hold on one second, made me feel I wasn't worthy. You know when you take accountability for your actions and you don't run from your reflection. It be chicks and dudes that try to pull out your skeleton at the end of the day, but hailing brought you balance, acknowledge your work, because you still being patient with time and they wouldn't have to get physical. When chicks and dudes trying to discourage you, they playing with magic, witchcraft, voodoo. You put a name in your book trying to hex you, sending you the evil lies, sending you, hold on one second, malicious intentions, all because, hold on one second, the devil wanted to tell so many lies. They wanted to make you feel like you didn't have potential. But they, hold on one second, you was your biggest cheerleader. Even when folks wasn't cheering you on, they would never understand how your heavenly mother, Father God was holding you down. Hit the trade off of me. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself, and healing, trauma, and pain is not a race overnight process. You know, chicks and dudes will try to discourage you, call you out, all because you understood that, hold on one second, I ain't have the energy harvest off your energy when you try to confuse me. How chicks and dudes are energy harvest off your energy, but you continue to call it back every single day. They would never understand how you stepping. They would do come to me spells, all types of weird shit, playing hexes, if the case may be. You know, but hold on one second, you understood that, hold on one second, I wasn't trying to lose me when I took that walk that day. I understood I was being, hold on one second, grounded not to hurt myself, my own words, because God allowed me to self-reflect, to allow myself to get the proper air when it comes to nourishments in my body. They would never understand I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. How God allowed you to see that growth is different. Even when folks try to make you feel like you're not worthy, hold on one second, of your own reflection. You've been dealing with devil worshippers all your life. You've been dealing with enemies, hold on one second, but you wasn't your worst enemy. At the end of the day, when it comes to your vocabulary, they would never understand how you truly step in when you fall from a hater, being authentic. You know, when it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I always have since day one. I would never hurt myself, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, regardless who's praying to my downfall. And I say that respectfully. This is currently my 4th live this evening. Regardless to if you're a content creator or entrepreneur or not, at the end of the day, never allow someone to make you feel like you got to live in fear. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Regardless if you have a disability, or you have a speech problem, or you have a delay at the end of the day, or you have a list. Never give up on yourself. And I say that respectfully, because you're going to have folks that's going to pray on your downfall. You don't have to know them or not. But never give up on yourself, because you understood you was willing to choose your reflection, because you are the blessing to yourself when you was far from a curse. Regardless to who not, I love you, respect you, protect you, or even meet you halfway. You poured into the wrong cups to the genuine ones. Protect your energy, protect you and your family, and stay out of trouble. You matter and you're worthy. My content is not for everyone. And I say that respectfully. We're currently 27 minutes into this video, and it's currently 10:53 p.m. I would never hurt myself regardless of praying to my downfall. And I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. I would never hurt myself regardless if it's a group, a single person, or whoever it is, a man or woman, a child or elderly person, or a couple at the end of the day that's trying to bring harm towards me or make me feel like I'm not worthy of myself, or make me feel I have to live in fear, or have to make me feel at the end of the day they praying on my downfall, that I'm not worthy of my own reflection. I would never stop choosing myself, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I don't push God or nobody. And that's why I say my content is not for everyone. But when God sends the right people into your life, the grass actually green on the side. That maturing is different when someone's acting their body, waiting to take accountability for their actions. Hold on one second. Even when the devil try to tell so many lies, the enemy will try to discourage you. But folks that's truly free at the end of the day, they actually respect you. They wasn't trying to shortchange you when it comes to your communication skills. Going within, hold on one second, when believing your faith, having hope within, actually having the potential to become your best self vision of yourself. When you fall from a head at the end of the day, they have to dibble and dabble with magical spoke. Hold on one second. They would never understand that. Hold on one second. When the right people see you, hear you, respect you. They wasn't reminding you of your past. Or folks with malicious intentions that try to diss you, disrespect you out loud, or have malicious intentions behind closed doors when God reveals the devil on the enemy when the mask fall off. You know, because they want you to become your best self-vision of yourself. The genuine ones. The authentic ones. They want you to prosper. They want you to continue to maintain your smile. They want you to become your best self-vision of yourself, not to kick you down. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. And loving yourself is not a crime. You know, regardless if someone came from poverty and pain, they wasn't acting their shoe size. They was acting their body weight. They see you, they hear you, they respect you. They wasn't looking at you like competition, good day, bad day, all misunderstanding day. They ain't have to go to that warlock, that witch, that terror reader, that karmic, that next door neighbor, regardless of their tags break. And I say that respectfully. Hold on one second, to shortchange your mental health. You know, my content is not for everybody. And no mother or father or guardian. We're 29 minutes into this video, and it's currently 10:55 p.m. No mother or father or guardian should lose a child due to someone's lack of self-control, because someone wants to send someone a hex or a spell work, or have malicious intentions, or send someone an evil lie, or because someone doesn't want someone to prosper at the end of the day, because someone lacks something in their life, or someone doesn't want someone to become their best self-vision of themselves, or let alone someone from someone's past at the end of the day trying to make themselves irrelevant when that chapter's already done, and how some people at the end of the day would try to keep tabs on people or pay people to monitor someone's every move, to be a monitoring spirit, to rob somebody mentally, spiritually, or financially, or gang stalk somebody, how this type of stuff actually happens, or project domestic violence or hate crime or discrimination or whatever the case may be, or make someone feel like they have to be stagnant when it comes to elevation. No mother or father should have to get a phone call that they lost their child, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. No child should ever have to get that phone call either because of their parent is gone because of someone's lack of self-control. And I say that respectfully. And no mother or father should have their child stripped away from them because someone lacks self-control, because someone wants to paint a mother to be unfit, a father unfit, mentally unstable, how their voice does not matter because a mother's a prayer warrior, a protector, a lover, in a healthy way. That mother that protects their baby, that prays for their baby, that gives their baby the proper nourishment and tell their child at the end of the day, you have a safe place with me. That mother and father that wasn't doing it for likes and views or clout or fame, they would never hurt their child. Good day, bad day, or misunderstand. They let them abandon their child. And I say that respectfully. No mother or father should have their child stripped away from them because an idiot wants to send sport towards that child or make that child feel confused that nobody loves them and they want to kick that baby down. We know we live in a spiritual world, and I say this respectfully. No mother or father should have the mindset that they're not worthy of having a child in their life because someone lacks self-control. My content is not for everyone. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m., and when it comes to my creativity, I work alone regards to who is praying against me. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Loving yourself is not a crime. Individuals would do humiliation rituals, send you hexes, send you spell work, or the evil lie, or have malicious intentions towards you. But never give up on yourself. I'm far from a hater. I don't worship the devil. My soul was never for sale. Individuals would say nobody would hear you, see you, respect you because they work in the background and have malicious intentions at the end of the day, or they're going to make sure that you don't prosper in life. But never stop choosing yourself because someone is praying on your downfall, regardless to what tax bracket you in, regardless if you're an entrepreneur or not, regardless to if you don't got to know these people or not at the end of the day. Never give up on yourself when someone is willing to blackmail you against you because they decide to take your kindness or weakness, or they decide to say, you know what, you're not worthy of self-love, you're not worthy of hope, you're not worthy of faith. Who do you think you are? But you never thought that you was better than nobody. You know how to say thank you, no thank you. And when individuals tweeting for you, not for you, you know how to keep it pushing. There's the trick though, because we are all not the same. Far from a hater. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater. Stop the violence in the community. Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater. Stop the violence in the community. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I always have since day one. I go live every night on YouTube at 10:15. My first live was up at 10:15. This is my fourth live this evening on YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I would never hurt myself, regardless of praying to my downfall, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. I always have since day one. Never give up on yourself. When someone's trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, get you locked up, put you in the cyber, or try to blackmail you against you, well, you know how to take accountability for your actions. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. They monitor your day-to-day activities, but you are worthy. Never allow the enemy or the devil to confuse you because you was willing to choose you. You didn't say that you was perfect, but you are worthy. Regardless of whether I love you, respect you, or protect you, or even meet you halfway, I would never hurt myself or my peers around me. And I say that respectfully, regardless to who's trying to antagonize me. I love myself. We're 33 minutes into this video and it's currently 10:59 p.m. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. I would never hurt myself. Peace and respect to respect your neighbors, not the ones you many don't damn your life, gotta go, neighbor, don't damn your life. Stop the violence. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's because moments keep calling your energy back. I don't want no negative energy over here. Man, it's just different. They say God not real. They in the background trying to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, send you hexes right to left, only because they want you to reject yourself when it comes to your protection. They don't want you to see your favor at the end of that. You favored by G-O-D, but you was truly far from hate at the end of it, being authentic. Hold on one second. They would never understand your conscience is different. They would never understand how your heavenly mother, father, God, and remove their hands off the well. You ain't have to worship the devil. You just know how to respect your neighbor. We all don't pray the same, but always be yourself, and I say it respectfully. When God sends a reference into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you. We're 34 minutes into this video. It's currently p.m. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. And this is currently my fourth live. My first live was posted at 10:15. I go live every night at 10:15 p.m. I'm Naya General Respect. This is my fourth live. I post every single day. And I definitely go live every night at 10:15 p.m. Regardless of praying to my downfall, I would never hurt myself. I'm Naya Geniola Respect. Always be yourself. You matter. You're worthy. Never allow someone to project fear in you because they say nobody's going to hear you, respect you, regardless if it's a man or a woman at the end of the day. Regardless of their tax bracket, how they threaten your life, that you're not worthy, that they're going to paint you to be mentally unstable, stupid, whatever the case may be. Never allow someone to make you feel like you're not worthy of choosing your reflection. And I say it respectfully, because you are worthy. You matter and you are worthy, regardless of trying to pray and get downfall. To the genuine ones, never give up on yourself. I'm Naya, Genuine Respect. 35 minutes and 22 seconds into this video. It's currently 11:01 p.m. Gotta go, stop the violence.